What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. And today we're going to be talking about ESports Boxing Club. We're going to be talking about the roster today. And now we're going to be talking about my top 5 fighters that are in ESports Boxing Club. Now my list may surprise people, but there is over 200 fighters, and we've only been allowed to pick 5 for this video. I suppose that's the beauty of it. Everyone's going to have a different 5. No one will completely agree with me, and that is what I want. I want to hear your guys' opinions on this in the comments down below. Now, this list isn't a list of people who I think will be the top 5 highest rated, because that would be a really easy list. This is top 5 I can't wait to use, and just, you know, kind of just fighters that I just kind of look at and go, I bet they're going to be fucking sick to use. I bet even some of them are going to be somewhat hidden gems in the game. So anyways, if you enjoyed the video, make sure you leave a like, subscribe down below, and let's just get into it. Now at number 5, we're going to start with one of the best heavyweights, in my opinion, of the modern day, and that is Lucas Browne. I'm kidding, he fucking sucks, I don't like him at all. Let's get into the actual number 5. And for me, number 5 is Conor the Destroyer Benn. Now, this was tough to put them in order, so there's not really an order except for the final 2, maybe. I kind of just put the top 3 just in a random order. But I love Conor Benn at 18-0, 12 KOs. One of the first fighters I actually ever saw in ESports Boxing Club like a year ago. I think he tweeted something about it. And as a UK fighter, I'm obviously a fan of him to begin with. But after his performance in the last fight, I'm a huge fan now. And one thing I look forward to the most, which I know is very bizarre, is his stats. Because he proved he can go the distance and still win. He proved that he can get a round 1 KO against a really tough opponent. He's consistently evolving, he's getting better and better. He's a real student of the game. In my opinion, he wasn't given any spectacular like traits at birth. You guys, I can't think what they're called, you know, when you just get an advantage off the start. You know, I feel like every skill he has grinded for that skill, and I think that for me is what makes him so brilliant. And you know, I bet he's going to be a tough motherfucker. I'm really looking forward to seeing him in game. His model is probably one of the ones I'm most excited to see with the tattoos. Obviously, we have seen it, but I'm looking forward to experiencing it with the tattoos that he has. The combinations that he throws, like we saw in his last fight, the combinations that he was throwing to get him out of there was just insane. And I'm really looking forward to seeing him in the game. Now we move on to number 4, and this may surprise some people, but number 4 is Gabriel Rosado, or Gabriel Rosado. At 26, 13 and 1, not the best record out there with 15 KOs. This guy is just a tough motherfucker, and his record doesn't do him justice in my opinion. Yes, he has had 13 losses. 4 of those, yes, have been stoppages or KOs of some manner. But he's fought the likes of Triple G, losing in that, but showing some serious heart. He had 3 cuts on 1 eyelid. His eyelid was literally hanging over the side of his face, and he carried on. He just kept going and going and going. He's a tough guy. He gets on the inside. He likes to bully his opponents, and I love watching him fight. I think he's going to be awesome. You know, he's fought the likes, like I said, of Triple G. He's also fought Danny Jacobs, David Lemieux, Jamel Charlo. Some tough guys, man. And in my opinion, he won the Danny Jacobs fight. So you could even say he's 27 and 14. And his last performance, fighting and KOing inside 3 rounds, 7-0. I can't pronounce the guy's name, so I just go by his nickname, which is the Bully. And, you know, that kid was, you know, on the up and coming. Get rid of Rosado. You know, he's an old has-been. Get this 7-0 kid through him. And dropped in the first with a nice body shot. Recovered, showed his experience, showed his maturity as a fighter. And ended up KOing this guy out cold, and it was a beautiful fight. And you know, I'm a big fan. I can imagine he's going to be a real issue in this game, and that's why I'm looking forward to him, because I think he's going to be fun to use. He's going to be a tough one to crack, because he's tough. He's definitely going to be a bitch in the later rounds when he just is still going and going and going. I'm really looking forward to it. And you know, he's someone as well that I'm super excited to see how they have him in the game, because he's not the fastest, he's not the heaviest hitter, he's not the toughest, but fuck me, he is a tough ass dude. And I look forward to not only seeing him in the game, but one thing I want to see is what he can take, what kind of damage he can take, and what he can carry on. I feel like he could be the used fighter in a lot of major comeback videos or major upset videos where, you know, you're getting battered online, but you're just tiring your opponent out with your skull and your arms and your body. And Rosado is someone that can just take a lot of damage, a lot of beatings, and just dish it back out later in those rounds. We go on to number 3. Now, this one's probably not really much of a surprise for many of you guys, and that is Vasily Lomachenko. Now, obviously at 15 and 2, although one of his first loss was a little bit fucking suspect, with 11 KOs, and despite the loss to Tio, in his last fight, he proved that he still has the sauce. He's still got it. He is still a fucking killer. He looked incredible in his last fight. The Tio fight, yes, he started incredibly slow. I think he took that fight a little bit for granted, not wanting a rematch scores and things like that. He took that fight a little bit for granted. But I'm not a big Lomachenko fan. I like him, but I'm not the biggest fan. He came out looking slow. It looked like he wasn't that interested, and Tio got that win over him. But however, He's always shown throughout his fights that his movement and shot selection is insane. The last fight, he looked like he was hitting harder. He's always exciting to watch. And the number one thing for me when seeing Lomachenko and when I thought that he was in the game, the first thing I think we all thought of was his footwork. His pivots that he has are just fucking nuts. The way he moves, the way he fights is epic. And with the new footwork system in the game and with the defensive tools and with the check hook tools and the pivot tools, I am excited. I am really excited to see Lomachenko's footwork at that lighter division. You know, maybe when people are going to come at you with a lot of jab heavy, body hook heavy kind of play styles, you're going to be able to avoid all of that with Lomachenko, especially jabs and straights. You're going to really be kind of risk to reward when fighting Lomachenko. He's going to be an interesting one to fight, maybe a tough one to use too, because it's going to have to be a lot of movement, a lot of knowledge on the fight. And it doesn't mean boxing IQ, it doesn't mean you need to be the most knowledgeable boxing fan in the world, but you're going to need to know the character, the fighter that you are using very well, I think, to master Lomachenko in game. Now, speaking of footwork, of course, 56-5 Muhammad Ali at number 2 with 37 KO wins, considered the greatest, and it's hard to argue with that. Absolute warrior. The dude, I mean, you know, he was in a legendary time, and he is a legend of legends. He is the kind of legends that legends look up to. 3 fights with Frazier, fighting Floyd Patterson, Ken Norton, Foreman, Leon Spinks, Holmes, all of them. You know, his hand speed, his footwork is just something that everyone had to see. It was a spectacle to behold. You just have to witness it. You know, his charisma as well outside the ring. But let's focus on inside the ring, obviously, because this is about a video game. And I cannot wait to experience and to see his footwork and the freedom of movement that he has, and what you're going to be able to do with him in the ring is going to be awesome. His hand speed, like I said, is rapid. To be able to get someone in that corner and just fire those jabs, so you're not going to have to focus. Say if you're using I don't know, let's just think, you know, let's say Triple G's in the game, for example. If you've got someone against the ropes, you're going to be throwing lots of body hooks, lots of head hooks. With Ali, you're just going to be able to fire off those jabs straight, those snappy little hooks he had as well. It's going to be epic to see. I'm really looking forward to seeing it for sure. His footwork, especially the way he moves around, the Ali shuffle, you know, the combinations that he threw, you know, landing 15, 16 shots in a row. His head movement, no, not to even mention his head movement, the way you could back in a corner and he's all over the place. It's going to be awesome. And that is someone that I am obviously stoked to use and to see. Just to, not even to use, just to see. I'm so stoked to see what he looks like in the game. With how good this game looks, to have him, the legend of legends, represented properly is going to be awesome. Now at number 1, you guys knew this was coming. You've probably all gone, here we go. At 56-1 with 2 draws, 38 KOs, the current WBA, WBO, WBC super middleweight champion of the world, on the path to unifying the division, and former, you know, WBC welter, WBO light heavyweight, IBF, WBA middle, ring middle. I think that's all of them. I apologise if I think there's a few wrong. Thank you to a buddy of mine on the Discord, John, for helping me get some of those right. Considered the pound-for-pound number 1 in the world, fighting the likes of Billy Joe, Callum Smith, Kovalev, Danny Jacobs, Triple G twice, Amir Khan, Miguel Cotto, Floyd Mayweather, although he did lose and learn a valuable lesson. There is no one he hasn't fought of the modern era, really, except for the current fighters, you know, like Demetrius Andrade, Caleb Plant, who, you know, we believe he'll be fighting in the future. You know, his head movement, again, in the Jacobs fight, was fucking phenomenal. His counters are insane, especially in recent fights. They've been nuts. Since the Floyd Mayweather loss, he's become a whole different monster. You know, Floyd really created a demon with him, and his body shot selection is insane. We saw that in the Rocky Fielding fight, in the Liam Smith fight. I think it was Liam Smith. I'm sorry if I got that wrong. You know, that body shot selection was disgusting. I just cannot wait to see how he looks. I'm a huge Canelo fan, you guys know that. I cannot wait to see how he looks, how he feels with his numerous abilities and attributes in real life, to have them transferred into the game with that little sharp head movement that he has is just going to be fucking awesome. I cannot wait for it. I'm really, really excited to see what he looks like, to see how he plays, you know, because he's got good power, good speed, good head movement, good footwork. Of course he's going to be very highly rated, and of course a lot of people are going to want to use him. But I am so excited to see what he looks like in the game, and I hope they do it justice. I'd like to see him with his beard, but you can't have everything in life. But, you know, I'm super looking forward to seeing what he's like and seeing how he plays as well, seeing how he moves around, you know, changing up his blocking style. You know, his really crisp counters. It's going to be nice. He's going to be another tough one to master, but I think he's just going to be fucking awesome. I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, that's my 5, guys. Let me know yours in the comments down below. I know not everyone's going to agree with me because there are some like Sugar Ray Robinson, Sugar Ray Leonard, you know, Riddick Bowe, Larry Holmes, obviously, you know, Jack Johnson, Jack Dempsey, everyone like that. And I appreciate they're all fantastic. But these were my 5. Let me know your 5 in the comments down below. Thanks as always for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.